A lot of different people tapped in right now, man. We got what did the dude say? Mark Reynolds, live from Scotland. Love and respect to Scotland, man.
Of course.
Yeah, a lot of love, baby. A lot of respect from everybody across the U.S. and in other countries. Wow, imagine that. Little old Hoodstocks doing this thing right here, huh?
That's right.
Yes, sir. Man, it was a very, very historical day yesterday. President Donald Trump, there was an assassination attempt on dude.
Yeah. I saw it, yeah. It was some heavy stuff, you know. It's just what the world's become now. It's hard for people to be friends, and they have different political leanings sometimes. I don't know if that's right.
Yeah.
No, like I was saying, I said it's just crazy in the world in this day and age, and what I've come home to. It's like I don't know where it's more dangerous in there or out here. You know, it's just for who you believe in and who you follow. Now, friendships are dissolved, and it's just kind of crazy out here.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. The dude was I mean, the first thing that came to mind, seeing that. Mind you, I was out with my girl, I was out with my kids. We found this one street that had nothing but Costco, like bootleg Costco stores.
Yeah.
You know how all these motherfuckers got stores now?
Yeah.
And they buy these pallets from Costco, but then we had this street and there was like 3 of those spots and we hit them all. Cause you know I'm a fucking Jew, bro.
Looking for deals.
Looking for deals.
Looking for deals in all the wrong places.
Yeah.
That's all good, whatever works, you know.
But anyway, so I opened up my phone, social media, Instagram, and it was flooded with, and the first thing that came to mind I said, damn, man, if this is this real or was this staged? You know, is it real or is it staged? And I guess I would like, why would you stage that though? You know, why would you stage that close of a shot to that dude's freaking brain, his head?
No, it was just a bad shot. It had to be. I mean, I don't know. You're going to get the same amount of time no matter what you do in that case, which is life. So we, you know, shoot at a president. You know, I received almost the same sentence for shooting at the prosecutor. So, yeah, so I got 30 for that, 30 for the weed. And, you know, so I know what it's like to have life, you know, it's just, but I know what it's like to beat it. And so that was the comeback, you know.
And with that said, I want everybody to give a warm welcome for our guest. He's actually on the phone right now. He's calling in. One day we hope to have him in the studio so we can experience his physical presence. But right now we will take this right here. Everybody, give it up for Mark Branon. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby.
All right. You can even make an old man turn red sometimes. You just can't see it where I'm at. All right.
You're, and you said old man, you're 61 years old.
I will be in September, yeah.
Well, in this picture right here, brother, you look, 61 years old.
That was just like a couple months ago, yeah. No, it's all that time in the hole, I think. You know, people don't realize how much, you know, you learn to do body weight and stuff without hurting yourself, and then you get out and you touch weights and you just light up, you know. But, you know, they have a thing about us having weights anymore. So, yeah, I all the good men, like, I could name them off, you know, Good Bros, Cardinals, everybody who's done so much time in the shoe. Like, people, we don't realize the ones that just drain and drive, and especially the homies in the woods, like the way we do it is so regimented. And, you know, and I was writing on my story, you know, I'm writing my life story and have a good book going. And people say when I describe this shoe and how it operates and functions, it's like, it's true. You can actually smell somebody, like especially if a woman's coming near the range, you can smell them coming up the stairs. You can just hear an imperceptible little clank, and you know he's down at the bottom gate right now. And it's weird how your animal senses turn on, and I think that's what happens. And people who go for it and aspire to stay in shape can do it, no matter what. We're animals, you know. We got to survive, and so, yeah.
That's pretty like insightful. I mean, there's a word I'm looking for right now, but just in regards to just how you casually said what you just said right now in regards to I could smell a female if she's coming from the bottom tier, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, I know that's a female. It's not a.
Just like the Silence of the Lambs, when I know you have an R-rated audience by far, but when Hannibal Lecter's like, Clarice, I smell you, Clarice, and you fucking creep, you know what I mean? You think that right off the bat, but if you really think about it after doing all that time, it's like, I know what he means now. Like that was really good writing, like to be perceptive, to know I could smell who's on the range, what humans on the range were animals. And it's tough to stay cool, and I'm humble now. I'm trying to be, project my next life forward, and rather than, my revenge will be my success. It won't be with any weapons, or won't be any, I'm going to get this guy.
Let's go.
I'm over it.
You're over it.
Yeah, I'm over it.
You just got out from doing 22 years in the federal system, and it seems like a lot of it you were in shoe programs, locked down.
Yeah, I broke the record in my circle. I did 7 pens in 5 years. I left everyone from the hole, but it's a combination of things. If they just think that you're the one that has the yard, they'll try and be your friends, and then when it comes time for someone to take the fall, it's you. You're like, oh yeah, good looking out. Like when the region or someone has to have a head, it's yours. So yeah, I did a lot of time basically for that, and just various acts or arts of work, however you'd call it, and just trying to be a stand-up good man. Doesn't always fall in line with what they want us to do.
Well, you gotta, like you said, back to the animal instincts and being in that concrete jungle.
Yeah.
What happens inside those cells and within those walls? I mean, it's the ones that are running it are not going to be happy about it. But hey,
they know who's running it at least. Like, it's usually we have the problem when they don't understand that there's a hierarchy. There's this, there's that, and usually from a green new warden, or someone comes in and they've been at a medium or a low and they hit a pen. I've never seen anything but maxes and smooths, but I made sure they remembered us there. We blew up Lewisburg pretty good and caught the place on fire. Just mistreatment, basic mistreatment. I used to tell my people, I'd be like, if I was on the other side, and that's a stretch, if I was on the other side and there was just other human beings in captivity, like, I'd like to think that I would give them what they had coming and not just try to do things to antagonize people. And in my opening chapter, I mentioned just that about a great legendary inmate by the name of Tommy Silverstein. And they messed with him so much back in Marion. That was before ADX opened up. And these are the guys that paved the way, Then a guy like that, he got disrespected as CO through his paintings. He's a great artist, threw his paintings on the ground. And in the next move, he was out of his cuffs, and it was legendary. It was a slaughtering. It was like you always hear, and that officer's name was Klutz, but there's always one. Oh, did you hear about? Oh, so and so's working. Oh, damn. What I mean? It's like, I don't know. I don't know. I just saw so many things in there that obviously I'm not correct the problem guy in my charge. I mean, I was an alleged marijuana smuggler that allegedly shot the prosecutor, that gave that back after doing 20 of that. I had that to do behind the weed stuff. So I'm a details guy. I like to, writing and stuff is important to me. But when I learned a case that I knew would win, that's what's so crazy, because they did so much illegal stuff in my case. It's been written about all over.
Yeah. And you guys can obviously do your own homework too and look up Mark Branon, and his paperwork will come up. They've made it a public record on I believe on one of your cases, the case you did the time for. I before we get into how you're out now, 2 questions. Has a warden ever walked up to your cell and had to holler at you? Have you ever had a warden?
Oh yeah, many times in the joint.
In the joint, yeah.
Oh yeah, they usually like this. That's like the final punch. Like, well, yeah, of course I have. Yeah, I was locked up in Beaumont for a year for walking up to a warden in the chow hall, I thought was protocol. Bring someone. We talked to the warden, and I got locked up because he told the guy that I was standing there with to leave, and I told him to stay, and he didn't listen to the warden. So I sat in for a year for that. I was like, really, like, and I had to explain it to him, like, you're not going to tell that dude what to do over me. That's just the way it is here, man. And what do you want? You think I'm going to stand here and get in trouble? It's a no-no in my circles to stand there and talk to the staff by yourself.
Yeah.
We don't do it, It's just one of those things.
Yeah, it's kind of, and I think it runs pretty much across the board in regards to like any inside the prison system, any ride, we'll speak, any car, right?
Yeah,
if one walks up, I think it's something new too in LA County. I mean, I was in LA County a little while back ago, but they had a thing where if you were going to go to the bars and holler at a deputy, then yeah, you got to take one of the fellas with you, which makes 100% sense. And the second question I wanted to ask you is something that you just said right now in regards to the dude. The what's his name?
Thomas Silverstein. Yeah.
Silverstein. I apologize. Yeah. Tommy Silverstein. Yeah. The CO.
Since he passed not too long ago, I think he deserves a shout out for who he is.
Facts.
Yeah, monster. Yeah.
And so they got his drawings, his artwork.
The way I heard it was, there was an act of very serious disrespect when there was erect poles with his property, and I would say it was his artwork. I would guess. Yeah.
Because he was known as being a great artist.
Yeah. He's a trip. He does pretty cool stuff,
And so that's I was just thinking about it because we anyone that's done time has experienced disrespectful correctional officers. If you're in the county, deputies, they just thrash the little things that you have. I mean, it crossed my mind. It's like, man, that's all we have. What gives you the right to destroy, say, pictures? Like, man, I don't know how many times I had pictures of baby and some motherfucking skin, whoop-de-whoop-whoop, you know what I mean? Half naked, and they tearing it up, or they putting it to the side. And
there's a whole website of my pictures on the internet that are on the internet. I'm like, but where'd they come from? It was like always a cell-seized picture. That's weird.
Confiscating the pictures.
Yeah, and even it was intimated to me that, we have our own little site too. And I was like, wow, that's my personal stuff. I should be getting copyrights for that.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I'm just saying though, back to that, like, man, a prisoner pretty much has no rights, but we do have rights because there's been changes within the system for individuals probably like yourself and others that have stood and they've done the hunger strikes. If like you said, maybe burn the place down, whatever it took to get their attention and said, hey, check it out. You're going to respect us because if not, we're going to make your 9-to-5 job fucking horrible.
No, they begged us more than once through me, like, hey, can you just not do it on my shift because I know what you guys are going to do. And I'm like, what are you talking about? We're just, it was at Lewisburg. It was right after they took the razors. It was like in 16, and I was in B lower, and that place is old, and it caught fire pretty good. You couldn't even see in front of your face. They ran out of munitions. But there's been times like that, and I look back on it. But there was also times in my case, like what happened in my case, like I look back on it, and I'm like, wow. I mean, if you were to say I made that decision, that's kind of a crazy decision. But a lot of it stems back. The interesting part that I segue into my book is I'm from Cali. I've been here my whole life, but I was a military brat. Grew up in Panama, been through a bunch of bases. And when we tiptoed through Camp Lejeune, leaving Central America on my way to Camp Pendleton, I drank that poison water. They had it all over the radio and television. If you've been at Camp Lejeune, da-da-da-da-da, calling this. And I was definitely using that in my appeals in my case, because what drinking benzene does is cause extreme irrational behavior. In my case, is like probably the picture child for that. You know what I mean? Like that's it. It was just like, oh, they're snitching, let's go get them. Or the prosecutor said this to the parents, it's her turn now. You know what I mean? Like they threatened my mother. I kept telling them, like, hey, can you turn it down a little bit? Like the things they do and the things that they're allowed to do. And who, us? Like, yeah, my son's birth certificates, he was born in Cabo. I had to pull him out of first grade, things like that. Oh, we don't have them. Oh, we're going to play that bitch game now. Like I'm here talking to you like a man, and I'm the reaction I got, because I called the DEA. I was like, hey, I need my son to be able to go back to first grade. Can we keep this war between us, the grown men in the room, that kind of stuff. And it got real ugly real quick. And, and believe me, I think the most impactful thing about what happened after that prosecutor, her nickname's Billy the Bulldog Rosen, and she gets that name for a reason. There was people all over the system. I was being housed in Arizona at the time. I was back on appeal. I was on a new case, but that particular time I was back on appeal, and that people would be, thank you. That girl gave me a 20-year plea or nothing on the table, and after she was off my case, meaning the prosecutor that got shot at, I got a 7-year plea. Thank you, my wife and family. Thank you. I mean, that's when it's like the checks and balances aren't working. If you have someone that's so far overboard their agenda. I got a 30-year plea bargain when it was a dry marijuana case with zero evidence. I hadn't moved a load in years, but they saw the money and they came after the houses, the real estate. And I think the most dynamic thing is my lawyer, Sheldon Sherman, made that rat rest in hell, like where he should be. But he was arguing my bond, and while he's arguing my bond, the judge pulls him to the side and says, you're under arrest for laundering the Branon organization's money. And so, now he's my co-defendant. And after a year and a half, he was out on bond. And he was.
Wait, your lawyer is now your
co-defendant. Yeah, not like us. No, I know, right? Yeah. Anyway, he has a brother named Victor that practices law up here. But see, what Sheldon was living like a drug kingpin, laundering all the money and having a blast until it was time to either stand up or tell. And, I went and hired the biggest attorneys in Scottsdale. Larry Debus, he did the Miranda case. You have the right to remain silent. Tom Tinnis. And I did. And the case just got so ugly, like it would take your whole show to tell you about it. It's just so bad what they did. I mean, they held a closed hearing, fired my $250,000 lawyers, never gave me the money back. It's still sealed. Like, I have paperwork that people are like, you can't do that. And then I show it to them, and it's still sealed. 22 years. That would have been open. I would have walked out immediately, because we all know what's in it. It's illegal what you did to me. You can't have hearings that I'm not invited to and make decisions on my life without me. And nobody gave me any of the $250,000 back. I gave those particular two lawyers. It just went on, but it's been profusely written about. There's been a 5-part series done on it. And even the people who are professional legal analysts that look into legal law don't necessarily like me. I'm not good for the system, for what my mentality was, if you're a lawyer. And the thing is they're like, yeah, this guy should be free. And it hurt to say it, but they did. This guy, every case that this particular rat, Robert Owens, who was an in-house PI, worked on, every case he worked on should be overturned. That was his words verbatim. But every time I filed appeal, it was no. So that's what we face as federal prisoners, though. And
So just to get a timeline right here, because you're giving us a lot. You're giving us a lot of information, but chronologically, So originally, what was this? 23 years ago, you got arrested for this case.
It was a marijuana smuggling case alleged with Rafa Quintero. Yeah,
Rafa Quintero.
He's a good man, is what he is to me. He was the one they wanted me to tell on. So I was like, I'm good. I'm all right. I just did 22 or whatever, and I can go to ADX and go to sleep. Yeah. But then when I was out on bond on that case, the prosecutor got shot up.
Okay, the prosecutor on your case got shot up.
The house got lit up. Her brother was actually blown off her computer, yeah. And, he just showed up. He didn't like her either. They were estranged for 5 years, and he just showed up and happened to be at the computer that night. Because I know every other night we were there, it wasn't. I knew what I was looking at, and I've already been prosecuted in the state and the feds by this.
So you can speak on it?
Absolutely. Yeah, they ran me again at court. And tried to get me to snitch when I was up there. I was up there doing 60, and they plucked me out of Atwater Penitentiary, brought me to Joe Arpaio's jail, legendary shitty jail over there in Maricopa County, the one with the stripes and the pink underwear.
Yeah.
And who knows what else he's asking people to put on, you know.
I've been there before.
Okay, yeah, you know, yeah.
I went out there one night, bro. Party too hard.
And you ended up in the tanks. You ended up in
they call
the
it Matrix.
The horseshoe, yeah.
Is it the horseshoe?
Matrix, horseshoe.
The Matrix, yeah.
Yeah, it's super nice.
But I had originally, when I caught that case, I bailed out, and then I caught fucking dumbass bullet. Anyways, long story short, I had a fighter case in LA County, and after that, my homeboy came up and said that the bullets were his. Bam, got the case off of me, and I got extradited to Arizona, and all the dudes. I originally got arrested outside of Maricopa County, but they were gonna extradite me to Maricopa and then get me to that little county jail where I was at, like Cottonwood or some shit like that. Yuppabike.
Yeah, you were loving it. You're like, how can you get me there? No, I would think
Yuppabike County or something like that. That they ended up sending me to, but I had to go through the Maricopa. What is it?
Maricopa County.
Maricopa County
Madison
jail.
Street Jail. Yeah.
And all the homies were like, damn, dog, they're going to have you wearing fucking pink, fucking this, that. I said, hey, dog, check it out, homie. You got me fucked up.
I bleached all my shit for the record, but, you know, they're hard to stay up with, but I was pulling it off.
Yeah, okay. Well, salute to you on that. But I told all the guys in LA County jail, all my boys, right? I said, bro, check it out. There's going to you picture the line movement and all these fools in pink and one dude butt naked. That's going to be me, you know? And so then I got introduced to that Matrix, and all those cells in that Matrix have air conditioning blowing fucking ice cold. Like motherfuckers are in there just shivering, at least when I went through that.
Yeah, it's all or nothing.
And I told you this, bro, when they threw me those pink drawers and those pink socks.
You were grateful. So you were grateful. You got some extra ones? No, I already know. You try. Yeah, I went in there. I landed like it was just, you know, it was so crowded in there in those Ladmo sacks, and a lot of you're dealing with I had to deal with a lot of dudes that were just coming in after a one night bender on the streets, and I've been locked down a while, and I'm doing life, so I'm edgy, you know, I'm like in there, and you just, yeah, that's a rough spot, man. If anyone who has, you know, I was there when they opened 4th Ave, I opened Lower Buckeye. I mean, I was there for 2 years on this writ.
Yeah.
And you know, they kept trying to get me to flip, and I was like, I'll flip against your witness. You're fucking paid informant. It's flipped on me. Is that what you want to do? You want to bring us in here now, and since you want to bring all the rats you got me and the feds for, and then try and talk me into talking about them in here? Yeah. I'm good, man. No, I'm good. You guys just wasted your time, and it became kind of a theatrical moment at the end where the prosecution was like, they just freaked out, and the judge got so mad at him. He was like, he's already doing 60 years for these charges, the same exact charges. You don't have him here for any other reason than to turn him. He's made it clear he doesn't want to. So can we end this deal? They let me sign. I got my 8 years, and immediately, like 3 years later, I overturned this whole case, and they would have took me to trial. They would have, just like they're screwing Crow over. He's already been convicted. That man's done the time for that charge that he didn't commit. They've even admitted it, the judges, but they don't care. It's like, oh, you want to go home? Okay, well, sign this paper that says you can't sue us for the 30 years. That's their go-to move, and you know that. And then after that, it's, you know, this isn't going to work out for you, and we're going to still come at you in a state level. And they don't want to admit they're wrong, and that's the problem. Is it's not just us. It's justice. It's just be justful. Be cool to who's sitting on that chair up there. It's his life you're dealing with. But as you know, everyone in this room knows, it's not always like that. It's who you are. It's the kind of tats you might wear, you know, kind of clothes you might wear. It can be anything, you know. And I'm tired of it. I'm done with that stuff. Prison is, for all the young folks listening, prison isn't what it used to be. It's not fun. And there's no surf, there's no hot chicks, and there's no red-nosed pits, my personal favorite. So I'm like, you know, I don't want to be there. I'm good.
Absolutely. Well, good for you, man. And unfortunately, sometimes it takes hard time like you've done, and everybody goes through their journey or the way they need to go through it to come out at the end, a better man, so to speak, right? A better man, and different aspirations in life, you know. And so you served 23 years straight.
Actually 21 and a half straight.
21 and a half straight.
Yeah, on the 27. I got some time off for Trump's first step back. That helped a lot of us, man. That they actually passed a law that actually made a difference, you know. Biden legalized marijuana. I'm going to legalize marijuana. Well, I know there was one marijuana possession case in the entire federal system. There's tens of thousands of people there. And that was just a vote grab thing, you know. But it was nice. The first step back helped a lot of us. Good guys get out, man. That normally would never have got out. And so I got to give my I don't care who sits in the White House. I don't, you know, I just want I don't want to pay $10 for a tube of toothpaste and $7 for a gallon of gas. That's all. And I really don't want people that are grown men in the bathroom with my children. You know, that's and people can say, "Oh yeah, you're a Trump guy." I mean, whatever. You know, whatever I am. That's my business. You know, but that's definitely not what I am. That business is going on right now.
Yeah, and I feel the same way too. Because I have daughters. And I don't want some fucking Avatar-looking motherfucker to be walking in the women's fucking bathroom.
I'm a female avatar. You're what? Yeah, that's about as far as that's going.
That's what I call them. I call them avatars.
Now you're bloody that, whatever the fuck you call it. No, I know it's.
I guess I got to be careful with what we say right here because YouTube is it's a sensitive platform as well.
No, for sure.
And I'll keep it a little bit of respectful on that side, but just give them their own bathroom. That's it.
Yeah.
It's simple, bro. All this money, give them their own bathroom. And please, for me, put Avatar on that door. Right, Avatar.
Freak show right here.
Freak show.
I got you. You know, we've all dealt with it. It's just, I've watched everything through the pandemic go down. I watched all these things go down from in there. And then when I came out and I looked at, because I had places in LA, Cabo, you know, San Diego, of course. I had houses in a lot of nice places, you know. And I was just like, I just want to go back to Mexico. I wanted to just see what it feels like, just to go there and just be like, oh, you're off me.
How were you able to make so much money? I mean, how rich were you before you caught that case?
I mean, they took millions and millions of dollars of real estate from me, but I lived like I even had more. I mean, I was making $400,000 a truck in 15 minutes. Just sending like 1,500-pound loads and false 18-wheelers, you know, the false walls, and I had you had the best supplier because that man down there knows how to grow weed, and then I had the best buyer. It was just, where's the ledger? You can't send us enough weed. It just, when that great moment happened, the perfect storm where I got the best buyer on the East Coast, and then I had the best suppliers in Mexico, and you know, I was back in the 90s, so I taught them how to clone and. You know, it was all skunk weed, but it was grown outdoors. It's kind of like what you're seeing done around here now. You know, it's stuff looks like homegrown. You know, but it's 600 a pound, and that's what I had. You know, but it was lightly seeded because, you know, we're growing it outdoors, fully military protected. You know, once they gave us the ranch, and I had the military there, I could do what I wanted. I ran everything on gravity feeds right up near the border, and yeah, man, I was just killing it. I just retired because I had nightclubs. I was part owner of Odessa's in Laguna. There's another one I could name, but I wasn't officially on paper on that one, so I don't really want to say nothing. But yeah, it was a good life, you know, and I was always traveling around, and you know, I invented Kitty Vac litter box. They just sent 5,000 units of that to the Home Shopping Network. I was the #1 touted pet product on the Consumer Electronics Convention of that year, and I was a businessman. All my money I was, you know, investing in real estate. I was doing everything, and all my neighbors, we all had keys to our houses. Nobody knew what I did. You know, I was that entrepreneur guy that lived next door, and you know, I always had a beautiful smoking wife in badass houses and cars, and nobody questions it as you get older. That's the only good thing about getting older, if you're in the business, is that, hey, I can say this is what I do, and they'll believe it. They don't really believe it when you're like 21 and you're telling them this resume of geniusness that you can, you know, you pulled off in life to become whatever you know what I mean? So as you get older, you can, but yeah, that's what I did, man. And
how long were you doing it like that at that level?
At that level was like, really, they sent me I did a coke case in 85, where I went into federal prison. Back then you couldn't get but a year or two. And I went in and did that little sentence before the before the minimum mandatories and all that were put in.
And the minimum mandatories is what, like 5-10 years in the feds now?
10s and up. Yeah,
10s
actually, it was
up.
Clinton that did that one, if I'm not mistaken.
Can that get overturned, or can that ever get
Yeah, I mean, right now.
Because that is fucking nuts,
no,
bro.
it's insane. And they got around it now, but you got to, like, their get around it. So, like, you got to come in prison and not even sneeze on another inmate the whole 20 years you're there. Like you can get action now to get around it, like a downward departure, or you got to have to be a total rat. Like, there's only one thing: either A, you're a 5K1 guy, or B, you've gone in there and, like, read the Bible and never done anything in your life. And so, as far as putting work in, and it's just a lot of the fixes they have are just for the people that obviously aren't the normal guys that we run around with in prison, you know, or look up to. That's for sure.
Let me do something real quick. Hold on real quick, guys. Let me do this real quick. Check 1 2 1 2. Sorry guys, I had to fix a camera real quick. There we go, right there. Wow, bro. So how long did you say you did it at that level? I'm sorry.
21 years and 3 months.
No, at the level
of smuggling. I mean, I was in the coke business when I got in the coke business when I was 17 and went away. But while I was in there, I got released when I was in my 22. And when I came home, I met some big smugglers in there who were in Cuernavaca, and they just said, like, get an airplane. And so I bought some Cessna 206s and 210s, you know, and they're good little birds. And I used to fly up loads, like, and land them literally right in Palm Springs out in the desert, like, just cowboy shit, you know. And I was doing that when I was young. And then I was, you know, I was moving coke for a while, and I just got so nuts on that stuff's crazy. Like, it's just like, it was Scarface. I saw the movie Scarface, and I was like, I kind of want to be Manny. I don't want to be Tony, because I was pissed Tony shot Manny, because, I mean, he's a cool dude, Stephen Baum, right? But then I was like, yeah, I just want to be a drug lord, you know? And so I got caught with that mentality. But when I got out, I was literally flying planes into Palm Springs again, out on bond. I mean, I'm out on special parole with, like, an HK-91 in the back of the truck, and it's like, I'm making my money back or else we're shooting it out. It was just, I just always had that mentality, like. And then I worked from nonstop from 87 all the way till they made this case on me, and I think it started in, like, 2000 when I really.
Wow.
Yes, so I never got caught.
You had a long run of living a very luxurious life.
Oh, yeah. No, I was burning through millions and millions. All my houses were, like, top of the line. Like, if you look them up now, they're all $3 to $5 million properties, because the way houses, you can't buy a condo now for $1 million. So, you know, it's but yeah, I was ripping and roaring. I mean, they made a big deal out of, just his hotel receipts, you know, alone that we've been able to track down under this alias are like 80 grand for the year. And then I might tell my lawyer, hey, I'm gonna tell them I get comps all the time, and they're like, shut up, man, don't, you're getting comped because you're spending so much money in these places. I'm like, oh yeah, all right, well, no, I mean, it's like, my lawyers are always cool, but they're like, the sarcasm was well deserved, you know, whatever they got going. But yeah, it was a big case, man, and it was like the James Bond thing. You go in, I had a really pretty wife. She's remarried a guy, a very successful dude here. He's a fitness guru, if you call him that. And so, you know, but you know, she and I were just really ripping and roaring. I loved her to death. That was my girl, man. She was down with it, you know. She was, and then we were just moving around and never pump fake. They threw the cuffs on her, and she didn't say nothing. And I was like, okay. You know, she just, they tried to flip her against me when I was out on bond. that made us just get back together and get married. Like our hatred for them was like so much. Oh, really? Now we'll work this out. Don't worry, just to piss you off. So, yeah, it was kind of got like that. And when you start getting like that, like, yeah, I had millions of cash and millions in houses, but when you piss on the wrong tree and those people print the money whose tree you're pissing on, you know, like, it's not going to end good. And so I'm done with all that, you know.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I made my point.
Yeah, but just leave. You had such a long stretch of
smuggling nonstop,
doing it big like that. I mean, what was the point of no return, so to speak, where you started? You talked about the senses in the SHU program, in the cell, being able to smell the female coming your way. Was there a point in time where you were like, you know what, they on me? It's coming soon.
I was always good at that. For some reason, I always had the best sixth sense. Like, they would put like a rat next to me in a nightclub, and he'd be someone I did know from the past. And like, they've tried to do it a few times. They were like putting pen tap microphones through the walls in the hotel rooms, and I'm just gacked out on blow with like two super hot chicks, and we're not playing Monopoly. And I'm like, you guys just sat around. What'd you do? Beat off all night? Like, that's kind of weird. That's like a weird invasion of privacy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what you guys were watching. I know what you were watching, but probably not on your paycheck. Yeah. So it was. I gave him a show, man. I was always the first one in, last one out, and. You know, youngster fighting grown man, and, you know, everyone thought it's a miracle you haven't been shot. I mean, I've been in so many altercations, and always grew up too fast. And that's what got me in the business. I didn't want people telling me, hey, parents, what do you think about this college? What do you want to do? And, you know, I love them to death. God, everyone I bet wish they had the parents I have, but it's just, I just want to do me, you know, and I don't want to be told what to do by you. And so that's basically where we're at Inroad, and I moved out. Yeah,
and so just speaking on your parents, and I mean, if you don't mind me asking you this, you said you were raised, military brat. Mm-hmm. You know, you drank the water. I still wanted to ask you a question about that water, but we'll leave it for another time.
Pretty gnarly, yeah.
But you were raised with a good mother and father.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're just like, my dad's a famous author, and his life is very known. Like, he's like that Jason Bourne dude. They call it Treadstone. It's actually the MK Ultra project. My dad was a big part of that, which is another reason to believe that, you know, that could have an effect on me when it comes to irrational stuff I've done, you know. And
explain that for those that aren't exactly following on what you're saying. Well, saying that it could have had effect on maybe the irrational.
Well, if you look in the movies that they refer to as Treadstone, where, you know, Matt Damon, our main character, is running around with these incredible skills. He doesn't know how he got them. He doesn't know how. Well, the MK Ultra stuff was a program at Harvard, and my dad's father was a known professor there. And while he was in Harvard, you know, the CIA, these people actually donate their own kids into this program, and it's a mind-altering type of thing. It's like when you see Jason, he doesn't know how he kills, he doesn't know how he does this. It's injecting like genius cells into your body and going through the most rigorous tests. For instance, my father was handcuffed and locked in a stainless steel coffin with room temperature water with about 2.5 inches to breathe at the top. And then they shut the lid on him, and he stayed in there for 23 hours. I have the paperwork on it. Like, he's that dude. Like, he's that dude you don't want following you through a jungle or something, you know. He's gonna get to you. He has patience. And so that's what those Treadstone, Jason Bourne movies were about. But if you really research the MK Ultra stuff, it's heavy stuff.
And so for him to be that was put into these, I guess, experiments for the CIA, with the CIA, you said, what branch of the military was he in? Or was he a part of
Navy?
The Navy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, you know, he was listed as a field surgeon, you know, and he went to dental school. He did all that stuff. And those are the kind of guys they use. And, you know, we all know, like, when there's another country with people in power that we don't think should be in power, you know, along with the SEALs, these are the kind of guys they train to go do stuff like that. Like, yeah, you're a Navy dentist, but you qualify expert with every weapon they've ever made, you know, in the military, like, and demolitions too, like way up, blowing things up. And I had that book. There was a book that he wrote called Let Us Pray, and that book was a book about a citizenry tax revolt. What would happen if the citizens said, no, we're not going to pay taxes, and matter of fact, we're going to come blow up your offices. And that book went big, but that book was also found on Timothy McVeigh's nightstand after he blew up the Murray Federal Building. And so when that correlation came, I lost that project. I was literally on the lot to be the main actor in that movie. And it's just, I've had that wasn't meant to be what I was doing at the time. You know, that's all I can say. You know, just like this thing, you know, we started a great company that everybody in the world knows that we had a litter box that would not smell no matter what you did. You could not change it for 2 weeks. It wouldn't smell because we invented this thing and how it cleaned. It was really made off a smokeless ashtray. But you know, I send 5,000 units to the Home Shopping Network next week. I'm in federal prison, and they're calling saying, you sell one of those, we want the money, you know. And it's like my whole life, I think that's what drew me into smuggling, because I could never really turn the corner and just be that dude and then still have this part of my life going on, because that's always been my life. That's the only way I know how to live. And, you know, like, if, say, somebody crosses you in business, oh, F you, sue me. Like, what? Like, we're not going to sue you. We're going to come to your house, man. Like, this isn't going to work like that. Like, I haven't been able to get to that part yet where it's like, 911, you know? Yeah. I'm good. But God help the cops and man, the ones that are actually going to our families' houses and helping them,
absolutely,
man, they do some good things, you know? I'm not going to,
absolutely,
and if we didn't have
to the
them,
good ones.
To the good ones, but there's so many that are just so over the top, whether they're correctional officers or just officers on the beat that just got it out for every other human, and it's too bad they just can't vet them a little better.
Yeah. It's a good topic and a conversation we've had here multiple times. In regards to maybe having a police officers academy instead of coming fresh out of high school, not till 25 years old. You know,
right?
You know,
that's a good idea.
Let them, you know, grow up a little bit. You know, and
sure.
I always think 25 is, when I was on the streets at 25, I said, man, this is prime time right here. You know,
right.
But anyways, I think you start understanding things. That's a whole nother subject. But brother, back to what you're talking about, or what we've been talking about. We've been talking about a lot of different things, man. You have a plethora of just crazy life and a lot of information compacted in the small time that we've been here already. And it's just it's mind blowing on what you have freaking done. And like you said, I never turned that corner because I was committed over here.
I labeled myself
because you could have been.
I'm a drug lord. What's up? Come get it. No, that's who I was, you know, and I loved it.
Because you could have went the straight and narrow with somebody.
I was the last callback for Iceman on Top Gun. I mean, when I was young, I had a modeling portfolio like you wouldn't believe it. Like I haven't always been this old, but and it was like I was in all these positions. I mean, I did this movie that isn't from it, but that I never even watched, that I came out and I watched it. My girl found it, and I don't really want to blast the movie out, but it's, it's tough old guys, but it was an 80s movie, kind of like a police academy movie. But anyway, I was scheduled to do a 3-part once they heard my voice, because that's the thing I do. It's like I can be old and ugly now, but I can always talk behind a microphone, and this voice gets chicks, so they can't stop that.
Let's go, baby.
I don't know how it's coming in on your end, but it damn sure usually works where I'm at. I've been doing a little work. I've been doing a little work lately in the studio, and that's what I do. And
you're doing voiceovers now, along with a book. You got a Netflix special movie coming out.
My best friend Jorge actually put his house up for my bond. He's got some nice pads up there in Mount Olympus, and so I get to still be a millionaire vicariously through him.
Hey.
But he's like right there for me, man. He's my guy, and he found out I was doing this and some other things, and they're all excited. They got me hooked up with I really don't want to say her name, actresses and actors are, but she's definitely the biggest voiceover actress in LA right now, and she's done everything from, the Rugrats, Smurf things, and all those to all kinds of other stuff. And she's gonna actually let me cut a demo tape and give me an agent, and then I'm gonna do that too. And it's just something easy you got a great voice, you got a great radio voice. First thing I said he knows how to carry his people on tape, and this is good because when I read like sides, like I was reading the stuff I let you listen to,
yes, sir.
I'll sweat. It's like I'll be like nervous, but when I'm here, I'm just talking. It's like this is an easy platform to get your voice out on.
First time ever doing a podcast.
Never done one.
Never done one.
Bro, I wasn't even going to, people reached out to me from in there. They're like, hey, well, you need to talk to so-and-so about talk to so-and-so because so-and-so wants you to do. And I'm like, all right, I got it. People reached out to me and were like, now I'm running into people that are helping me. And Mark Wahlberg's people just did this other guy's thing. And he's got a case like mine, and it's coming out. I don't know if he named it The California Kid, but he's got his stuff coming out, and the Wahlbergs got involved and did a 3-part, I believe, Amazon series. It'll be out next month. And but my guys they're big. They want to do a 4-part Netflix. They see it like a snowfall almost because there's so much went down in my life. And most people don't get away with it for a 15-year stretch. There's a lot I did, I mean, there's a lot I need to talk to my lawyers about, like, hey, what can we really talk about? That's the hard part about no one's ever done, like you look at the movie Goodfellas. Yeah, well, Paulie said, and it's about the rat, Henry Hill, and he's voiceovering that part. Yeah, well, Paulie, he didn't care about the money. You get whacked, and he's like, but me, I can talk about the text, and everybody knows it happened. That's legit. That actually happened. Like you could tell the prison stuff. People can go, yeah, he was there. That's kind of what I'm into. I'm into just authenticity, and I know what I'm bringing out is authentic. So,
absolutely, brother. Yeah. Absolutely, man. Man, you'd have been a badass Iceman on Top Gun.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you. Okay, so I went through 500 people. I got called back for the last scene, and I'll never forget. He was a casting director. I'll never forget his name, Sam Warren, and it's been 40 years. And I walked in, and it was the last day Tom Cruise showed up. It was me, Val Kilmer, and one other actor. And when Val Kilmer walked in, he got a very over-the-top welcome. I mean, leg kick up and everything from that Sam Warren dude, so he was like, and he looked at me, and I made Tom Cruise look very little because he's not a very tall guy. So he didn't kind of want me there for that either. And then that was like, I didn't care. I was modeling for International Mail. I was doing the fashion show circuit. God, it's like shooting ducks in a barrel. I mean, I'm literally in nightclubs with a fake ID when I was 19, 18, and it was insane. Like, and you're marching down the runway, and the girls are just everywhere. The cougars, Yeah, so that was a good time in life. Got to live that, But I tell you, living in Cabo and all the years, man, I've been developing and living there since the 70s. Like, I got down there right when I graduated high school.
How was it? Like, and I understand that you were plugged in with the top of the top out that way. Were you somewhat untouchable out there at that time?
In Mexico, yeah. Like, they used to call me the mayor. Like, the things that I pulled off down there are so funny. I had friends of mine show up, knucklehead youngsters, and it's La Dia de Independencia, actually. It's the Mexican 4th of July. So it was that day, and there's fireworks going off. Everyone's out, and I'm driving back from the beach in the bay watching the fireworks, and there's my truck wedged up, one of my cars that is known to be stolen because I buy them from the feds. And my friends have run it into the back of not just a car, but a truck with like 5 armed cops in the back that are doing drunk patrol that night. So they, and by the end of the night, I've got them all out. I go down to the jail with my red nose on a leash, with a bag of blow and a nice bottle of tequila for the comandante, and I rolled in there and I said, man, we got to talk. Yeah, let me pay for that little damage you guys got. And these guys, and you got to make it look good, sorry, Jimmy, for taking that right across the chops. But, you gotta, it's like, I had it big down there. Like, that's nothing. Like, we're literally.
So you actually had to make it look good in regards to disciplining your own people.
Yeah, because, I
showing them respect.
I get a lot of love down there, and anyone that knows Mexico knows, as long as you're cool with the Ministerio Publico, and I gave him a brand new Steyr 308 machine gun with a Zeiss 1000 scope on it. That dude wanted to give me his first child. I mean, those are like, those, you know what I mean? When you hook up a guy like that, in some little carry case, and then you don't know if he's really going to take it, because they revolve a lot, the Ministerio Publicos, so after drinking with him and feeling a little comfortable, I said, I'd like to have a present for you. I'd like to go get for you out of the car. He's just met me. It's the second time I've been there with a certain circle of people who just happen to snort coke and do lines with the feds, And so we rolled in there the next time, and I laid it on his desk, and he was just so blown away, man. It was like a cool moment. I got a lot of people out of jail for that free card right there. Fuck it. Yeah, that was like the real get out of jail free card.
What do you think? What do you think of, like, because it seems like, you have the charm, you have the, when it comes to dealing with, people in general, it seems like you've had it since day one in regards to, knowing how to talk to people, knowing how to treat people. What is it? Is it a science? Is it? Do you get what I'm going?
I know exactly where you're going, and it's funny you brought this up because I just had this discussion the other day, and it was in a different context, but it was exactly where you're going, and it's just weird. I always said, like, the administrations would hate me, and I'd tell them, I've diffused more violence than I've ever caused in your system. You know what I mean? Like, and come on, anybody from Cali that's had to go over there in the state for 2 years in that Arizona, that Joe Arpaio crap, like, SoCal, so what? Yeah, so I got the keys to the unit in your state. What's up? That's what's up. You know what I mean? Like that. And I'm not set tripping on my Arizona bros. I love my guys from Arizona, but, there's always been that little, with you guys and us over there,
Yeah, Arizona and
like,
California.
Yeah, but nothing like these Midwest creatures and these, you got what we see in the feds, guys don't even understand in the state. Like, you're like that dude's a white dude. Nah, he runs with the South, or he runs with the Midwest, or his homeboy from a great aunt used to know a black guy, so that's who he runs with, But I was vicious on that, and it was funny because a lot of the cartels would be there, and when the buses would hit, they'd be, oh boy, and I'd be up there with all my guys just looking down the unit, and I'd see one come in. What's up, Wood? Oh, he's a Muslim. I go, no, he's probably a sex offender and a rat combined, and that's why he's running Muslim, but he won't be for long. And I'm like, I walk down there. Well, since obviously the guy that looks like a pedophile in here is running with you guys, I want to see all his paperwork. Like, that's the way this is going down, because you're not going to go rape a child and then come here and run on my time. You're going to run, in that pile of blood, we're going to leave you in on the floor, and it's funny, there's certain people that are out there professing to do this and that, and they have other podcasts and, some of the stuff we got to watch. And when that person's never lived anything they're talking about, and, but you see that. And then
can I put a name to that and maybe ask you a question? No, leave it alone.
Well, probably for now. I'm trying to get my traffic stream. No, I'm just but we all know. There's just people that are faking it, and it's just like anything. Like if I read a book.
So right now you're talking about a particular podcaster that's a white boy, and I won't say his name, but you might think he's doing a little too much.
It's just. Like, there's things in here I don't talk about that I damn sure could talk about if I wanted to. Yeah. Like, most people be like, oh, well, he could probably do that. He's probably earned that. But, like, when you're, like, talking about, I don't know. I have so many good friends. Rest in peace. I've been with all of them, all the carnals. I could name every one in the feds and what yards I've been on with them. And they're just awesome dudes, but you're not going to see them or anybody with any standing coming out saying some of the stuff these dudes say or speak on. That's another car's business, and that's a tricky part of writing a book. Like, by the end of my book, everybody knows who I am in there, so there's no sugarcoating that. And in the end, I'll say what they list me as, but that's about it, you know, because none of that's being talked about in that book. Not what they want me. They would love to see me slip and start talking about personal matters in prison that get people killed, you know.
Absolutely.
And, you know, it's...
Yeah, it's something you don't do.
Yeah, we all know, and we've seen it. We've seen people's careers end. I mean, sometimes it's weird in that, I assume we're talking about the gang world in there, you know, like,
yeah,
it's weird. It's like, once you're at a level in that world, I believe, this is just an opinion from outside, then you just always got to wonder when the powers that be are going to get tired of you, and you're going to just like, oh, well, this certain group of us likes this guy, and this certain group of us don't like that guy, especially in the feds, because dudes are getting made all over the place. You know, it's not like California. You guys kind of know everybody in the state system, you know.
Yeah.
The feds, they're everywhere. And it's not like it used to be. It's the white boys, you know, the back east and the Midwest, and you know, and then it's just not the same anymore. And look, they did the state. They got 50 yards that are up to threes now, and it's like you got. But with us, I liked it because I stayed in max custody, and I never had to worry about having to go pick up a crime right before I went home, because they're gonna, man, damn near make you like do something. They'll put you on the yard that old Jared from Subway's got the keys to, you know, and, you know, like, yeah, he's got the Yahwehs.
And Jared from Subway is actually in the system, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
no,
funny.
he actually is. I've heard about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. But anyway, I was glad to see what happened to Larry Nasser. He finally got his over there. That was nice.
Not sure who that is.
That's the gymnast coach that felt like he should like stimulate all the girls, you know, private parts when they're not only 16 but they look 12.
Yeah.
You know, they're gymnasts.
Man.
Yeah, he was one of them rapos. You know.
Wow.
Yeah, they didn't get him the way I wish it would have ended up. I've gotten some good ones actually, but we'll keep that for another show. But yeah, they're it's just funny, man. It's like, I don't know. It's coming home from all this and been done all this, and everywhere I've ever gone, I've just been like, as soon as they gave me a $70 an hour union job. As soon as I got on the job, within a week, I'm running the whole crew, and everyone's listening to me. You know, but to answer your question, a real long ADD roundabout way.
All good, brother.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always been able to do that. Like, and I think a lot of it in prison was when I got there. It wasn't like I want to run this. It's I don't want some lame like that telling me what to do. That was more like that for me. And don't get me wrong, some of those guys were straight killers, but you know, a lot of them, like I would land at certain spots and they'd be like, yeah, that's your boy Fang over there. He's got the keys for the white boys. And those are all the blacks over there ready to jump on him because he's run up drug bills with all of them. He's not paying them. I mean, that's something I would never do. Like, you're never going to land on a yard that I'm on where I've left a trail of bad shit.
It's kind of like an abuse of power, right?
Yeah, man. You just don't do that. And
you pay your debts, right?
And you don't abuse your people.
Yeah.
Like, if you got the Yahwehs, man, don't treat your dudes like you know. So I've seen some guys do that. And then, boy, when they have a falling out, it's like everyone's arms up. Like, I got this. I got you.
Everybody wants that.
Everybody wants that.
Yeah, the animosity has been building for a long time.
I could say one name, and it would be like, oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah. No, there's been some legendary ones, you know. I was around in Victorville in 13. You know, from 7 to 13, I was in Victorville. That's when it was vicious. We got kicked out of there for a murder, and then that's when I did 7 pens in 5 years. Every time, I just never landed anywhere where they really wanted us there.
How was your time doing 21 and a half? I think you corrected me on that. 21 and a half years. How does one do 21 and a half years? Because there's a lot of listeners right here that probably couldn't fathom that, right? They couldn't just like, wow, you know, and here you are sitting in the free world on a phone call with me right now, you know, and you sound unaffected, but affected a little bit in some sense, where people aren't going to be able to understand it, or align with the thought process of how you're saying it, but they just don't understand that lifestyle, you know. But how did you do your time? Sports,
I worked out, played sports nonstop. I've read like 900 books. I mean, especially the shoe time, you read all the time. And then, but sports when I wasn't in the hole. Like, I play all sports good. Like, I was a pro surfer, you know, I got into that, but I went and played football when I was young. I was real big. I'm still in shape, you know. I'm messed up right now because of my hand, but everything's cool, you know. That we're working out, man. That's what the key to me being able to make it. And what blows people away is they're like, God, was that a long time? Well, nah, it went by quick. They go, that's sick, because nah, it's true. It's just, you get into that programming where you're like, you know, like when you see the camera, the time-lapse cameras, and you see someone in the house, zip, 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 zip. That's just that's our lives. I've just cleaned the cell for the third time today. That's my big excitement for the day. But to me, it is. So let me do it. Leave me alone. That's how I did it. I just maintained.
And talking about reading X amount of books, I mean, that is very, very important in regards to your well-being and making sure that you stay on top of your, you know, not only working out your physical aspect, but your intellectual being, and making sure that, hey, I might be stuck in this cell for 21 years, but I still need to grow up here.
Stimulation is key, man. If you don't stimulate the brain, the body, all that stuff, it's like, it just goes dead. It's actually even the females, I didn't know, because I've never been around women that are older than me now. You know, you get older, you know, I know a lot of older women said and I guess it's actually the female body, when they stop having sex and they don't get the hormone pills, it actually, things will start sealing up on them. Like, it's like I've been learning all kinds of crazy stuff about anatomy that I never really wanted to talk about before. So I won't keep that uncomfortable look on your face. But anyway, so no, but you know what I mean? It's like, that's, to me, man, if you're in there and you just work out all day and do, like some of us older cats, like I played with some guys that are really well known in your circles, you know, like Champ, and, you know, I play basketball with them all the time, and I'm one of the other old ones on my side. And, you know, you see the face light up on that old man, and when we're playing, and I'd be like, he's having fun, man. He's having fun. He feels like he's a kid again. And that's like such a gift we give each other. You realize, like, man, that, like, especially if, like, say you're in the system and you have a reputation, and you never met the guy, but you know the dude's dangerous. He's kind of known, like, don't piss him off. And then you meet him and you're like, damn, I just saw the kid in him. Like, I used to like looking for that in people, because my only son was murdered right before I got home, and so I know what it's like to lose your kid. Brother. My condolences. I appreciate it. It's the hardest thing. You can, I mean, we all lost children, especially, I mean, you live in areas like, or combat zones. But it's like to be in a hole and be by yourself, and then the way they did it was so inhumane, you know. Like, I mean, like, they didn't have to bring that many cops just to put me in shackles. I would have shackled up, but I don't know, maybe not. I mean, they got to tell me exactly what they're moving me for. So it was kind of like a weird situation, you know. And yeah, it was a tough one, and that was right before I got home. And I would like to say that, out of all the pain and everything I went through, like, them not letting me leave the state to visit my parents is one of the shittiest things anyone's ever done to me. And losing my son right before I got out, Kevin Pham, and I'll be waiting for you when you get out. And that's just the way this works. But yeah, that dude took my son's life for nothing, on some cowardice shit. And so, you know,
was it inside the system?
No, it was out on the streets.
On the streets, okay.
Yeah, it was another one of them wrong identity things, like, oh, we're not going to get this person, but that one will work, type of thing, you know. Over a fist fight in high school, you know. 4 years later, gang initiation.
Wow.
Yeah, so, you know, it is what it is, you know, and that's just, you know, and he knows who I am, and some people have already greeted him on the bus ride, you know. And I just wish they'd have more time with him. But, you know, it's like, you got the wrong dude's son, you know, like, it's in my paperwork. I don't forget, you know. And it's just, it's sad. Like, I really do want to work with kids, though. While I'm on this planet, I want to do what a lot of guys do in our positions. You get a format, and you help who? I want to help kids, man.
How would you like to help them?
I would like to, and not do the usual rah-rah,
soda.
Don't do drugs, I mean, we all know, I could tell you how stupid it looks being on cocaine, and, you know, if people had filmed me on it, which I always thought was a good business concept.
Yeah.
But film a dude.
Filming anybody on drugs.
Filming anyone on drugs and let them see, like, this is
crazy numbers.
This is what you look like the last 2 nights. You know, I'd be looking out a peephole in a hotel with my eye against it so hard in the Waikiki Sheraton, like there'd be an indent on my eye. I'm so coked out. And I'm waiting for my friend to get back from town, and it's just, you know, the whole doing combat roles in your wife's robe with some bunny slippers on that definitely aren't mine. And you're like, you know, you're so jibbed out, you know, there's someone on the perimeter, you don't know who. It's just like, I've been through it. So I think delivering that message to kids, I know what that's like. I've done that. And I did it at the biggest level you could do it. And I was always the last one standing. Everyone would tap out before me. And it's a miracle I'm here, and this is why. I was told to give this message to you children by what balances me, by what makes me, I can give this message to you. And you'll understand it when I'm done, trust me. Because I know some of you have already been dabbling in the stuff, that's why. And then that's the way I would deliver it. But trust me, as you get older and you look back on the mistakes you make while you're doing the drugs, whether it's spending all your money, whether it's hitting somebody that's, you know, I mean having sex with someone that's not even on your level that you might have to run into now at the grocery store. Like, there's just so many bad things. And then being away from your kids, you don't realize you may only party once, this, you know. No, but then there's a day of recovery, and then there's the day that your kid comes home and that you couldn't throw the ball with them because you were too distracted or because you felt like crap because you partied. I mean, that's the part that hurts when you get older. When you say, I could have, better when my kid's gone. And I'm like, man, I could have done this. I could have taken him one more spot. I used to take him surfing when he was little, taught him how to box. I did, you know, drove him to the motocross track, drove him to school. Like, had so much money that I was just the best dad ever. You know, I just hung out in the house and did cool shit with my kid every day. And, you know, it just sucked. It can't happen anymore. That's all.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that, brother. Sorry to something.
Well, I'm only 60. I could probably still pull it off, but, you know.
Bring another one in the world?
Yeah, it's just what the feds want. But, you know, yeah, I would like to, because that was the last one with our living name. All my brothers had daughters. There's no more living Branon in the world that's going to carry our name on. So it's like a duty I got to do. I might do the artificial insemination thing because it has to be a boy, you know.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love my sweet little girls, you know. I love all kids, but I mean, it has to be a boy because that's how our line continues to grow.
Absolutely.
And I'm Norwegian Irish. Yeah, my one side of the family's from Norway, and you know, a little Polish, and I'm Irish, you know. So my dad, redheaded Irishman.
Let's take a quick break, and we're going to be right back with
For sure.
Mark Branon, baby. Let's go. Can I get a moment of your time? Smoke a little, life's a game of chess. Drugs, guns, hooters got me on the run. Let me shine a little light. Can I get a moment of your time? Smoke a little, life's a game of chess. Drugs, guns, hooters got me on the run. Let me shine a little light. I grew up on the 50s, love my whole city. Got the little ones with me, I ain't going back to prison. House with a yard, I get my own unlocks, I walk my own yard. I'm Figueroa filthy, where I come from, dog, everybody's filthy. Get your hands dirty with them concrete burpees. Beer runs and licks, my heart was made, dog, with every single brick. Legend in my own, I get my little shine on. Got a house loan, I see a hater smiling, broke with a mouth full. Run with my ninjas, used to gun with my ninjas. Used to split top ramens on the hood with my ninjas. Can I get a moment of your time? Smoke a little, life's a game of chess. Drugs, guns, hooters got me on the run. Let me shine a little light. Can I get a moment of your time? Smoke a little, Life's a game of chess. Drugs, guns, hooters got me on the run. Let me shine a little light. A 53 tortas, Johnny's on the corner. Fidel was on the block. Pizza so hot, cheese slide right off. Terrace 49, I got a creature state of mind. Mona Vista Pay, you need to keep a loaded 9. Maury's on thick. Used to cop the Cortez, you know the Chino got the kicks. Sitting in the park, you my son, I'm the shine. Rolling down the boulevard, palm tree line, bro. Call me anytime. Jack and some coke, we can build on our life. Get our money up without committing all these crimes. Get it while you got it, mix your freedom with some logic. A gangster's moving silence, you ain't gotta speak about it. Tatted on our skin, you know what to do, dog. Family, go on in. You need to rest your head, my door swings on a hinge. Hooters on your bumper, come and jump the neighbor's fence. Can I get a moment of your time? Smoke a little, life's a game of chess. Drugs, guns, hooters got me on the run. Let me shine a little light. Can I get a moment of your time? Smoke a little, life's a game of chess. Drugs, guns, hooters got me on the run. Let me shine a little light. A Miriam Street garage, Gonzo, you my bro. Gotta keep your soul alive. Black Sabbath till I die. All heart, pork soldier. Everybody know this. Pull me out of mines, you gon' get the fucking notice. Gentrified faces. What they know about Chuck Taylor fat laces. York Boulevard, Troy's drive-thru. Cop some chili cheese fries before I catch a state line. Cali Mex got the meat. BBQs always turn up on the streets. My homies all crazy. OG homies done made me. Conejo, the homie. Ray Loco, the homie. Yogi, the homie. Night Out, the homie. Backstreet Villain, the homie. Wimps, the homie. Let's go deep on me. All respect to the rest of the team. Shit, we miss you motherfuckers. Can I get a moment of your time? Smoke a little, life's a game of chess. Drugs, guns, hooters got me on the run. Let me shine a little light. Can I get a moment of your time? Smoke a little, life's a game of chess. Drugs, guns, hooters got me on the run. Let me shine a little light. Can I get a moment of your time? Smoke a little, life's a game of chess. Drugs, guns, hooters got me on the run. Let me shine a little light. Can I get a moment of your time? Smoke a little, life's a game of chess. Drugs, guns, hooters got me on the run. Let me shine a little light. I grew up on the 50s, I love my whole city. Got the little ones with me, I ain't going back to prison. House with a yard, I get my own unlocks, I walk my own yard. I'm Figueroa filthy, where I come from, dog, everybody's filthy. Get your hands dirty with them concrete burpees. Beer runs and licks, my heart was made, dog, with every single brick. Legend in my own, I get my little shine on. Got a house loan, I see a hater smiling, broke with a mouth full. Run with my ninjas, used to gun with my ninjas. Used to split top ramens on the hood with my ninjas. Can I get a moment of your time? Smoke a little, life's a game of chess. Drugs, guns, hooters got me on the run. Let me shine a little light. Can I get a moment of your time? Smoke a little, life's a game of chess. Drugs, guns, hooters got me on the run. Let me shine a little light. A 53 tortas, Johnny's on the corner. Fidel was on the block. Pizza so hot, cheese slide right off. Terrace 49, I got a creature state of mind. Mona Vista Pay, you need to keep a loaded 9. Maury's on thick. Used to cop the Cortez, you know the Chino got the kicks. Sitting in the park, you my son, I'm the shine. Rolling down the boulevard, palm tree line, bro. Call me anytime. Jack and some coke, we can build on our life. Get our money up without committing all these crimes. Get it while you got it, mix your freedom with some logic. A gangster's moving silence, you ain't gotta speak about it. Tatted on our skin, you know what to do, dog. Family, go on in. You need to rest your head, my door swings on a hinge. Hooters on your bumper, come and jump the neighbor's fence. Can I get a moment of your time? Smoke a little, life's a game of chess. Drugs, guns, hooters got me on the run. Let me shine a little light. Can I get a moment of your time? Smoke a little, life's a game of chess. Drugs, guns, hooters got me on the run. Let me shine a little light. A Miriam Street garage, Gonzo, you my bro. Gotta keep your soul alive. Black Sabbath till I die. All heart, pork soldier. Everybody know this. Pull me out of mines, you gon' get the fucking notice. Gentrified faces. What they know about Chuck Taylor fat laces. York Boulevard, Troy's drive-thru. Cop some chili cheese fries before I catch a state line. Cali Mex got the meat. BBQs always turn up on the streets. My homies all crazy. OG homies done made me. Conejo, the homie. Ray Loco, the homie. Yogi, the homie. Night Out, the homie. Backstreet Villain, the homie. Wimps, the homie. Let's go deep on me. All respect to the rest of the team. Shit, we miss you, motherfuckers. Can I get a moment of your time? Smoke a little, life's a game of chess. Drugs, guns, hooters got me on the run. Let me shine a little light. Can I get a moment of your time? Smoke a little, life's a game of chess. Drugs, guns, hooters got me on the run. Let me shine a little light. Let me pay some bills real quick. I got to do some ads right now. Let me pay some bills. Let's do it like this real quick. Give me one sec. Hey, IneedAFreak.com has been putting your girlfriend on the internet since 2000. Follow them as they attend and showcase some of the best and freakiest events and talent from concerts, car shows, adult industry, parties, and even swinger events. Also, make sure to listen to the I Need a Freak podcast on all listening platforms with hosts Misty Ray and Mobbers. Let's go. Hey, also too, any music artists out there looking for custom beats, if you're an independent artist looking for custom beats that truly represent your style, you got to hit up Flourish and Prosper. That is Flourish and Prosper. This Latino-owned music production company is all about helping real street and hood talent shine. They got a squad of talented music producers ready to craft the perfect beat just for you. Whether you're into the West Coast rap, R&B, corridos, bop, they can match any sound you need. Plus, they offer packages that includes the custom beat, mixing, mastering, recording, and even marketing your next single. Slide into their DMs on Instagram at Flourish Prosper and tell them Hoodstock sent you for the best prices. Plus, you can get a free, no obligation quote to see how they can elevate your sound. Don't settle for average. It's time to flourish and prosper with custom beats that hit different. Mention Hoodstocks for exclusive pricing and get your free quote today. Hey, Kylie to Texas offers premium HCA flour with the best quality, the best reasonable prices. We have multiple strains. We also carry Colorado flour as well. We offer shipping to 45 states with insurance on every package for your peace of mind. Flour so good you won't believe it's THCA. Follow our Instagram page at Cali to Texas group, where we will post the strains we have currently, and they would like to place any orders for shipping, send us a direct message and we'll work on it for you. Also, if you're in Texas, visit 4 of their locations, and you can hit them up for those locations at Cali to Texas group on Instagram, and they will get you that those locations. Okay, and hey, Hood Stocks will get 30% off your first 3 purchases. Also, hey, Canijo Tattoos. We're sponsored by Canijo Tattoos. Follow on Instagram at Canijo_tattoos. Hey, peep game. Many of our listeners mistakenly believe the only way to buy a home is to have perfect credit, a large down payment, and then proceed to get an bidding war on your favorite home. This isn't the case right here. The team at Prime Equity Mortgage has access to off-market inventory and access to 50+ banks, plus their own bank. They have helped thousands of people in our community get their home and even help investors find ugly homes to flip. This is how home flippers buy their homes. Call Andrew. That's my G right there. Call Andrew, and he's going to see what he can do for you right now. And his phone number is 626-825-6565. Looking for some good quality cannabis? I mean, killer quality cannabis. Hit the folks at Killa Kush. They specialize in bringing the best quality available from OG to exotic. They got it all, baby. Hit them up at Instagram at Killa Kush _420. And we also sponsored by the best criminal defense attorney in the city of Los Angeles. Don't play with it. His name is Doug Sherrod. He used to be a federal prosecutor. He used to also be a district attorney for the city of Los Angeles. This is the man. This is our criminal defense lawyer right here at Hood Stocks. You know what I mean? 24/7. Doug Sherrod, he's the one you want to go to bat for you if you got to cross that motherfucking bridge. And you can reach him at KingKongLawyer.com. KingKongLawyer.com. Orange County, stand the fuck up. Gutter Phenom is a lifestyle brand that's dedicated to supporting and inspiring individuals who determine to achieve their dreams. We believe that no matter where you come through and what you've been through with hard work and dedication, anything is possible. Visit gutterphenom.com. Gutterphenom.com. Use Hoodstocks20, get 20% off. We also sponsored by La Conecta. Shop LaConecta.com. Shop LaConecta.com. Use Hoodstocks, get 20% off. We're also sponsored by Rick and Morty Gummies. Unlock your mind's eyes and allow your senses to finally come alive with the strings that strain our perception of the world. With Rick and Morty Gummies, you can experience all of this and more. Jesus. Okay, if you need that, and I think you might need that, it's helped me with, the mushrooms has helped me with my brain chemistry, and it's helped rewire my shit up if you microdose it. You know what I mean? You can reach them on Instagram at Rick and Morty Gummies Official. We are sponsored by Graphic Joe. He does all our stickers, and follow him and hit his DM at Graphic Joe _. And we are back with DAGO Mark, baby. Let's go. Whew, this has been good. I mean, 21 years, man, and here you are out in the free world where the world has changed maybe a little bit or a lot.
Well, when you receive 27 years for selling weed, and then you come home and it's like literally being smoked on every corner, and it's sold in stores, and it's not illegal anymore. It's, the things have changed. I mean, we all know what they do. I mean, my case was a money grab. They wanted my real estate, and they wanted me to work with them, but that didn't work out. So they just did what they did. They broke my back. And so, coming home to this world after what I did and why I did my time is a drastic change for sure. And it's almost like a slap in the face too. So,
no, I hear you. And it's, politics and favoritism. I mean, corruption. I mean, it goes across the board, right?
And I never even really was into politics, and that's another thing. Like, I never cared. I wasn't allowed to vote my whole life. I've been a felon for 50 years. Well, not quite, 44. And so, the thing is it's, you just don't, I don't know how to say. I mean, I'm interested in it because when Trump came in, he made it interesting. You're like, who's this loudmouth game show guy, But nowadays, when you really see what's cooking under the political skin out there, every one of them is a scumbag. I mean, it's just, these are things that I learned when I was in prison, watching, reading, and being more politically aware of how politics work.
Yeah.
And now I know, and it's like really sad. I mean, we give billions of dollars away to people in Ukraine and these other countries, but we got people right in the city, in every city in California especially, that are hurting, they're suffering, they're the job, it's a false economy, and people aren't doing as well as some would lead you to believe, and I just think it's a shame that the powers that be don't help our own people before they start thinking about,
it's crazy.
Who's going to do them another favor in return to help their life out, and that's what it is, man. It's no different than prison.
Right? Same thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Same thing, man.
Yeah.
And so, what has been some of your experiences out in the free world now? experiencing the changes in the world? Besides technology, right? For one, this is huge.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. In the old days, I was out at a mall with my girlfriend, and there was in the old days, you'd see parents with their kids, and they'd be interacting, and it's just really sad. Because I watched this kid trying to get his parents' attention so much, bouncing around in front of him and playing, but the parents were the ones staring at their phones, and they didn't even have like the integrity to stop and like interact with their child. I think that's a part of the world now that's just changed so much to where people are just more into their phones than their children. That's what I really saw to be a difference.
That's a lot of what's going on nowadays with the phones. Like anywhere you go, like anywhere, you be in the market, you see people driving, everybody's on their phones, constantly texting, doing something.
And not interacting with each other, which was it was outlandish, because I was at the LA Fitness, the Planet Fitness gym down in Irvine. I love Irvine, by the way. I mean, they have some bad drivers down there, but it's really clean.
Yeah.
I'll just say that.
Yeah.
But God, I used to live in Laguna, so I had a nightclub down in Laguna. It was the best time of my life. So,
my sister's out that way. She's in Irvine.
Yeah,
so I'm bring over there
clean.
once in a while. Yeah, it's
Irvine's
nice.
clean, man. It's like Mayberry, California style,
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Shit, I've been hanging out in Seal Beach, bro. For
Seal Beach is cool.
This past week, and it was so interesting. And I want to say this. So I'm on the beach with my two daughters, just chilling out. What anyone's gonna do, father and daughters at the beach, right? On the shallow end of the water, because my girls are 7 and 8. So
right.
I don't want the current taking them in.
Yeah.
They can swim, but swimming in the ocean is a whole lot different than swimming in a swimming pool, right?
Don't I know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you surfed and everything, right?
My whole life.
Dude.
I chase hurricanes now. I don't run from them. I chase them because I know the waves are going to be right next to the hurricanes.
That's crazy. You still surfing?
Yeah.
Have you gotten out there?
I've gotten one time. I've been out in the water right now, and it's like it's just something that's like inbred in you once you've done it as long as I have,
So I want to say this, because I'm a very we observe everything, right? I observe everything, and so I'm at the beach and I see this family, this white family, and it's led by the son, obviously, and it was his sister. They looked alike, and then the parents were right behind them. Mm-hmm. It was the mom, and then it was the dad, and the mom and the dad were easily like in their 60s, I would say. If I can put an age on them.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, it's not too bad out here," and they're casually talking and like almost in a line, staggered, and son jumps into the water, the sister goes right behind them, the dad and the mom, and they just got in that water one by one and just swam out there, and it was kind of like a flock of, maybe if it was wolves, wolves, or if it was a different species besides the human being, right? You could tell their family, and they obviously probably maybe were from Seal Beach, or obviously raised in a beach environment, that the way they just jumped into that water, 60-year-old mom, 6-year-old pops, they've been doing this forever, probably with their kids, and they, when the wave comes, they jump under the wave, right? Mm-hmm. You dive under the wave, and I just watched them, bam. They all did the same thing, and they swam out.
It's called duck diving. That's what we call it in surfing.
And
that's how we push through waves that come at us. We stick a knee in the board and push through. Yeah.
And they all did that one by one, swam out to the furthest part of the ocean that nobody was at, and then they came back. And they said, "That was nice. That was good. It wasn't too bad. It's not too cold, huh? This and that." I'm ear hustling a little bit,
sure,
And I just thought that was just like pretty cool, man.
The Johnson family. This is how the pod interacts. Like, you could have a narrator. Like, notice the young one leads the pride into the ocean, and the next one's like,
Yes.
No, but I'm a vicious people watcher, and I'll go. Like every weekend, I'll have itineraries where I'm at, and I'll just go. I'm just gonna go to the mall, man. You know, I'm just gonna go over here, or I'll just drive down to Venice, you know, and trip.
I love Venice.
Yeah, I've been wanting to catch that guy, Box of Beats. Have you seen him on the thing? He does. It's like a house thing, and he uses his mouth as the. He does all these crazy noises, and I would love to learn how to do that. Like, I don't know, that dude. I used to. We had some pretty good house artists come to our club. You know, Mark Lewis, Louis Vega, Crystal Method played there. I had some, and so I've been around. You know, 4 ecstasies to the wind. You know, just you just wow. You know, and it's. I would almost be afraid to do like a major dose of psychedelics in this world, because I don't know if I'd just melt down and just be like, oh my, what's it become? You know, and you make it, I think all that time away, you realize like, look, when you leave or even when you die, you could be the most unbelievably gifted, giving, cool guy in the world, and then you're just gone, man. Like that's what it feels like nothing changed. And I'll tell you what sure didn't change is like you come home after doing so much time, and all these guys that were like the full-on man whores, you know, man hoes, you know, they'd hang around you have all this money, and you come home and there's not a sound out of them. Like, you guys used to drive around, I'd throw you the keys to my houses, just pay the maids, just to make sure it's clean. Just pay the maids, that's all. You can stay there. You know, the house rents for $1,000 a night. Just, you know, of course, they'd throw up all over your lamps and on your furniture. I mean, these dudes, the times they've left my house in Cabo messed up was like, I'd come back and I'd just be like, really, man? I mean, I got to come here with my wife and kid. You got like some chicks nasty, you know, underwear you leaving in my room, or now I'm gonna get shit for that, you know, like I don't know. I was such a good friend, and it's just, that's what's changed. Like, I never forgot about the people that didn't tell on me or just treated me good. I always reciprocated, but I think a lot of people are into what are you gonna do for me, and that's all that matters, and that's what this world's become a lot of.
What are you gonna do? What have you done for me lately?
Yeah, and what, like, it's not about what I'll do for you in return either. It's just everyone's so self-entitled and
entitlement.
Yeah, man, entitlements.
I think me and Rick were just talking about certain individuals that just have, you know, they can have this entitlement in regards to whatever scenario, right? But entitlement, man, is. Yeah.
It's like, it's pride. Pride's not a good thing. I mean, it's good in certain ways, but people don't know when to turn that switch off. You know, like, pride's good. Ego, not so much. You know, yeah, be proud of who you are. You know, but some of these people that just, you see it in prison too, like, because, you know, people have earned their bones and they get around and everybody's like, oh, that dude right there, that dude, Butchie. Remember back in '88 when he fucking da-da-da? And it's like, but then sometimes they'll show up and they'll just get too far overboard with it, and you're like, hey, I'm good on prison stories. Like, I've told and heard so many. I tell dudes like, oh, this will be a good one. Watch this one. No, yeah, this is right about the part where, you know, it's like everybody's heard it. We've all heard the same story. Everything that's been happening in prison over and over and over, and it's that redundancy and that Groundhog Day scenario drives me nuts in there. That was the main thing. It's like every day the same thing, especially when you're a workout guy. I have literally a book probably 10 inches thick with just workouts and charts of different workouts I did. And when I do my podcast, that's going to be one of my things. I'm going to show, first of all, I'm in really good shape for my age. And secondly, the way I did my time, you know, I did it, I honored my family when I went in there. I'm going to, whoever I was around or said to be in there, you know, I always wanted to honor my blood name, you know, and go in there and do the right thing. And I think that helped me. And writing was good in there. Writing was good, except for I get blown out of my cell a lot when I get upset at people. And then, like, you know, your paperwork tends to get lost and your albums, and
sucks.
It sucks, bro. It's like, I just got to keep my eye on the prize now that I'm home, because it's
And the prize is you doing, you're gonna have a
Successful.
podcast, be successful,
yeah,
stay on the straight and narrow, right?
of course, yeah,
Yeah, stay on the straight and narrow.
Done with all that stuff.
Yeah, and absolutely at the same time too, give and give back. Maybe like what we talked about earlier, what you talked about earlier with kids.
Yeah,
right?
I would love to go down and like I grew up in San Diego. I went to San Diego High School. I went to Oak Crest Junior High, and I can tell you this, man. I would love to go back and speak to the generations that I've missed, and be like, I can tell you this. I can't tell you don't do what I did, but I had a blast at it, and I was really good at it. But I would give it all back and everything that came with it for one more day with my son. Sure. And so it's like, for me, I have a whole different barometer. It's like, well, I got to hold myself accountable. He's still there, Now that he's passed, I feel like he's more in the room with me than he ever was, and I know he's watching, and I feel that way. Do I really believe I'll get to where he's at? No, I don't. If that book's to be believed, there's so many variations of Christianity, and
You talk about the Bible.
yeah, I mean, if you believe it, that's cool. And I've been in and out of it. I'm not going to do a religious segment on the show, but I mean, it's like, if that gives you strength and you actually live by it, then great. But it's just like with a lot of groups in prison that profess they're this way, but then you're not living that way. Like, if you're a Christian, be a Christian, But like, I know for sure that that pretty wife of yours that's reading the Bible doesn't want to put in the part when we were all partying last weekend, and she slipped out of your room, stud, and she's the biggest Bible beater around. I just the phonies, phonies, and I'm willing to
we're all
indulge.
sinners,
He
man.
wasn't he wasn't my friend. You know what I mean? He was just a friend of a friend's house, and I was like, I don't know,
No guilt on this conscience.
none. I'm not putting any cut on. I'm not going to put any cut on it with my day.
I'm not losing any sleep over this.
No, I'm not. Yeah, because, but yeah, I wish there was something that I could really get my teeth into. That I studied Buddhism. That was a good religion. I like the karma aspects of it. But when you get into like organized religion, no, I'm very much against that. Like I'm more like, it's almost like someone's sexuality. You don't got to beat a drum and wear a rainbow shirt and you scream that you're gay. I mean, if you're gay, that's cool. I get it. That's. But if I run down the street and beat a drum and scream, "Hey, I'm heterosexual. I like women," yeah, I don't think you really want to hear that while you're eating, and it's nobody's business. And I wish the world would just get more into that. Like, can we all just kind of like leave so much of the sideshow bullshit out of everything?
Well, I think social media has a lot to do with that,
Yeah.
You post, it's just everybody wants to let people visibly see and know what side they stand on. And if it's a rainbow shirt or if it's one of those fucking dildos that has a suction cup, they stick it to their forehead, and now you're a unicorn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just
I learned something today.
What's that?
I always thought a unicorn was that little nice, colorful horse. All right. Now I'm fucked on the unicorn the rest of my life. I know what a unicorn is.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah, okay.
Sorry about that, bro.
No, it's all good.
I gave you that visual, huh?
Yeah. Your acting was class A. You were like, this is what they do. But yeah, man, it's I think the best thing about being home is that, I want to see my parents off. Like I always said, and now they won't let me even leave California to go to Nevada. Just the BOP is classic. It's backwards on purpose. It's like, you got us out here, but you can't do this, you can't do that. I don't know how people make it. I don't, that have been in as long as I have. I see guys in there just scared to death, like they don't know where they're going to go.
Yeah,
and it sucks. And again, if we didn't send all of our money to other countries, and take care of everybody else's problems, we could fix this. We could have a country where, there was work for everybody, and there's plenty that can be done here still. I just hope this is the year that it changes back. That's all.
I mean, you can drive downtown LA and just see that, we need the money here
We
instead
definitely
of
need the
sending
money
it
here.
out
Yeah.
to other places.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that could be given better opportunities where we're at.
No question. Yeah, no question. Our own people. And, you know,
there's people in need here.
Yeah, I met my ex-wife for church. And like I said, she married a real famous guy up here. And it's just, he's like a celebrity dude that does things and was scared to death when I came home. Like, and she's telling him, well, I'm going to go meet my ex-husband for lunch. We were ripped out of each other's arms. It wasn't like we like divorced each other and now he just wants to get back with me. And he's been locked up. And I was man enough to say, hey, leave me. I can't do this with you while I'm in here. That's a tough gig, man. Trying to, where you at, where you been, playing that shit. And you just don't do that, you know? And so I let her go, and all kudos to her, man. That woman's been seeing my family every year.
Wow.
Really close to my parents. They love her. And I still love her in the aspects of friendship. But it's like once you've loved someone that much and then you see him, as there was talk about it, like, you know, oh, you guys are going to get back together, this and that. And she even told her friends. I told all my friends, and she told me this, that I told them that I'd leave, you know, and go back with you if you ever came home. I said, don't do that. Wait till we see each other. And then once we saw each other, I said, it's a good thing. First of all, you got a fantastic life. And second of all, I could never go back with you because you're the only woman I ever really loved. You know, it's like, I know it sounds kind of sappy on a show like this, but you know, it's real,
bro.
Yeah, like I couldn't take you back because I'm wired wrong. Like you know, but then she's going through it with the guilt thing of being such a hardcore, and you know, Christian. About a lot of the stuff we did, I mean, I know is definitely frowned upon in the Bible. Bellagio, you know, about you know, half an ounce in on some blow and some ecstasy, and you know, next thing you know, the escort services are like on fire, and all the penthouse pets are coming to the room, you know. And I've been. That's one thing I lived, bro. Is I definitely lived that life, and it sucks because you almost wish you were healthy enough to do it your whole life. It's like playing sports, you know. Because man, that's fun when you're on a good one. But
it's like a basketball player that gets a little old and he can't actually slam dunk the basketball no more. He can't. I mean, I love basketball. I use it as analogies.
Me too. Yeah.
But anyways, you know, Mark, this has been amazing. Thank you so much, brother. I'm looking forward to. This is a phone call this time, but next time, hopefully we have you in studio, in person.
Can't wait.
And people can really feel the words that are coming out your mouth. Sometimes it might be hard with a picture up there, but hey, it is what it is. And we feel so blessed to have you on this platform, to bless this platform with your great presence and the parts of the story that you've been able to share at this point. How can the community right here, the Hoodstocks community, how can they support you right now?
Well, I mean, just, you know, right now is my movie that's coming out is going to be called Southern Enterprise, the Mark Branon story. Some of the names have been changed to protect the guilty. And I like the way I did that because it's a catch on what this is about. I'm gonna keep pushing my stuff. Brano is back at gmail.com is my email. Mark Branon is on Instagram too. Just look for me on that. I really didn't set up a lot of social platforms yet because all I'm really doing is writing where I'm staying. So that's what's up. Always love to hear from different people and, you know, what's going on. But I will keep the show updated. And then when we're about to go live and do the voiceovers on the tracks for the movie, because I'm going to voice over the movie. And when no one's ever done that. So when that happens, I'm going to share it with the show because you guys shared your life with me, you know. And I have a special closeness to the homies. So in prison, I'm like, they're like my family. So, you know,
let's go,
I appreciate what's happening here, you know.
Yeah.
So,
thank you so much, brother.
You guys are my dudes.
Hey, likewise. And anything we can do for you, man. I mean, this is a bridge now that you have 100% access to.
Thank you.
The platform.
Thank you.
Absolutely anything you need on a positive tip, we got you. And we know that's all you're doing right now is positive stuff.
Yes, sir.
So we are here to support Mr. Mark Branon. Hey, we'll be back with a guest. And we got So Mary Jane coming up at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. So you guys tap in and be ready for that, all right?
Hello.
We gone. We love you guys.
Ace.
Whoa.
So when you